Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, Usaiba at the wall. Welcome back to VOS and we show today Sunday, June 7th, 2026. Today we get a distinguished guest. We go come talk to we about this close protection service we then they try to become law in Sierra Leone, and then the implications or the nitty gritty or the nuts and bolts of which in that law they mean, and because we get a perspective or we get an explanation of that last week by Dr. Moana, we come and make a very able and effective, I would say, presentation as to why we need them or why we need the law. And so you try to explain to me all what involved and why it's a good thing for the country. So in the process, we happen to have had with distinguished guests today. We'll be to listen to the show and listen to Dr. Moana, and he also gets something for say about the very issue. The difference with him and Dr. Moana is that he served in the Sierra Leone Police Force, we guess today, served in the Sierra Leone Police Force, and then served in the protection service, not only in the police force, but in the protection service. And so he gets a full understanding of all of what is involved or should be involved or not be involved. So he's going to shed a lot of light on it for we. So, we're not bringing him for rebut or for disagree with Dr. Moana necessarily, but wherever he disagrees with him, I think he'll be free, or he's free to say so. So with that, let me just go to the regular things that we can bring people attention to in terms of how for reach we, if you know to listen to we, and how for get we. So of course this is a VOS television network. So then they carry and on different platforms. So if you go to YouTube, you will see we. If you go to Facebook, then they carry we. If you go to X, we formerly be Twitter, then they carry we. So you will be able to see we. In addition to that, we'll get a radio station, 91.9 FM, where also you can listen to we on. But with a radio station, it can be very tricky. You get for download the VOS app for be able to listen to the radio. And the radio you get for go at the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store for download the VOS app, then you will be able to reach me. Just tune in 91.9 FM will not take you there, particularly if you call in from North America, because I'm sure there are a lot of radio stations in different states with 91.9 FM stations. So I would strongly encourage you now for download the app. Also, then they carry we on Twitch TV. Just do VOS television. You should be able for reach we. In addition to that, we usually can like for bring to people attention about this diaspora non-profit organization with VOS gets. So now for help picking them where they go school, but when them people are not getting enough money for push them forward, and that enough money, they could be money for books, money for uniform, money for other things them where you require, because not just your brain no more you need for go school. You will not say it takes many other things also for make you really get mentally and physically fit for continuing education. But there are lots of students in Australia, or a lot of Pekin in Australia, where their parents them not to do that well economically. And so they're not able to add or pay a dime beyond the lily and nothing willing to get. So this organization now for that. So if you want for help and no amount is too much, no amount is too small, you can just go on www.vosdiaspora.org. www.vosdiaspora.org. That will take you there, and you can give any lily and nothing what you get for give. So with that said, and since we start just about 15 minutes late after we start in time, so I don't want to do much more. Mr. Mengot, my co-host, will do the rest of the introduction of himself and we guest, and then we'll ask the guest some questions. Then we go make when I know which he be. So we'll just do a brief introduction. Then we'll ask him one or two more questions them as far as which any expertise be and all of that. With that said, Mr. Mengot, to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pambuli Nakushawo. And I don't want to say much because it's always good when we get people we can country. This platform is very open. And today we want to talk about this national security intelligence bill. Because this is not the first time we talk about this, because we've been on talk about and look into details about the bill. I'll look through the lens of how it went through Parliament, the procedures, and some of the things that when they raised the amendments, whilst my co-host, Mr. Shyllon, look at the laws, the legal aspect, things to do with issuing of warrants, immunity of security officers, things to do with how you get redress if you are affected by the new lawyer. Then last week we get somebody from the government, a person who I know very well, Dr. Mwana, who told us he was security advisor to the government, and he actually confirmed that he's the director designate. Although he also make this clear that the bill don't go through Parliament, but it has not been enacted. What do you mean by enacted? Any bill will go Parliament before it become law, the president will get for sign up. Although the bill was gazetted twice, as last week we talked to the government man, it has not been signed. So now on that basis, they can look before even in the sign. Law bring somebody who get practical experience in the security service. When he say we can throw some light to it will give you some historical perspective of how national security and intelligence been there based on your practical experience. And I will let introduce himself to you. Today we get Mr. Aziz Turay. Welcome to the show, and we wish you a good discussion. So you can introduce yourself, and we can now take you through some of your experience in terms of law enforcement, close protection, and things to do with security. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mengot, Mr. Shyllon, and Mr. Abdul Karim for the invite from Ekadeyaso tonight. And I also want to say hello to the listeners. We can come to the platform also for me to share ideas. That's the things in the way some people may not know, maybe somebody know, we go throw light on them. So I'm happy for being here tonight.
All right. Okay, let's start by giving you your experience when you joined the police force. What may motivate you, and how the structure been there that time day. Because just for give you a background, I'm not saying you don't left the police force. Yeah, you're now based in the States. When it comes to national security and also central intelligence, when we talk about security, if we go to the past, remember we've been get the police, we've been get the army, and under the police, we've been get the CID, we've been get special branch, and then we'll get military intelligence branch. So during your time at the police, what have been the structure of national security and how have been the gather intelligence that time day, and what do you think say over the years don't change?
Thank you very much. I will give a brief background of the security aspect, me road for come to the security aspect, say what motivates me. Well, I've been get a cousin where I've been police officer. And after I left school, by then, it's not easy for me to get a job. So one of the open space we've been doing for me to go join the police force. And graciously, I apply. I know I still get colleagues there where they open at the police force. We are trained together. I actually joined the police force in 1990, August 1st. I joined the police force after we graduate from the police force. When they call say we pass out from the police force, they can send on postings. My immediate posting have been Kenema. They post me Kenema. I reached the March 19, March 23rd, na the first hit of the rebel incursion. So now be like 2 days, it was so unfortunate. But at the day, I work within the rank and files. With the day I start there as an investigator, because usually they can give us some kind of test or assess whether I go on an investigation, that will go on general duty and all the other things. So I've been there at the investigations. Later on, graduates go at the intelligence, the special branch, we call. I mention all them things. So I work in a special branch throughout until the time where I left. But if you ask the setup of the security apparatus by that time day, and I believe say much not change, we get the SLP, the Sierra Leone police, we there for national security and law enforcement activities. Like you mentioned, the armed force, ASLAF, then they for national defense and other activities, state protection, I can say. You get the ONS. ONS actually, they enact the ONS bill in my absence because in 2002, by then, I've not been this alone again. But you get the ONS, so they provide operational oversight, policy oversight, and other things for the security sector. You get by then I've been SSD, but it changed now to OSD, when at the operational support division of the police, kind of paramilitary, then get weapon all the time, then they carry weapon. Because later on, we can't get the CPU, close protection unit, whether only I believe it come about around then 2010, around that, no, 2002? Yes, income around that time there. You get the special branch where you call now the intelligence wing where is responsible for entirely intelligence within the police, entirely just for intelligence. And then they post people and officers there at different locations then. And I will come to that when it comes to postings. You get the CID we mentioned, Criminal Investigation Department, and you also now the special branch around 2004, 2003, 2004, then we get something where they established when at the Criminal Investigation Service, CIS. Then you want to see how it operates side by side with the special branch. But later on, they can bring them together with the integrator now we get Intelligence Integration Service, IIS. Of course, CID get TOKU, transnational crime. And you also get now the anti-robbery unit, where they help the government or the citizens then with any robbery activity. But when it comes to security, 90% is in the hands of police, and not just only police. When it comes to protection, entirely from where me open my eye, I will begin from Pashaki, so up to Momo, because I get a big brother who serve as ADC to Pashaki and also to late President J.S. Momo, and he's still there alive. I even asked them how they get the security set up. So entirely in the hands of special branch, I would say, because I've been the intelligent wing, and also just special branch being the intelligent wing. They've been so effective, and up till now, they're so effective because now they provide internal, they get the oversight responsibility for intelligence. So we get all this set up here, so from the police, the work within they do, the general police, take them to the anti-robbery. They're still there, they are effective, and so now me question come, why we forget an additional unit when we get a structured and well-functioning force where they provide the services. So if you ask me for now, I will give you this, and I look forward to the next question.
Okay, let's go back. When you were in the police force, were you in the police force who been get the security sector reform where we bring in Keith Bidul?
I mean, yes.
Okay, so that was the time when they said the police was a force for good. What do you think say now been the changes from the old to the new, and how do they benefit the people in terms of security and intelligence at the country?
Well,
because if I let people that know anything about it.
It can't help for restructure the police, because I mean the war era where the rebel incursion was so intensified, come onto the time we can't get peace. So we need some restructuring. From there, you can introduce refreshers trainings for police officers then, or go refresh the trainings, make it not just be police force being a force. Now, for make it be, he introduced the community policing. So people will interact with the community for make them know, say they're not just there also for force them around, but also now for make them go partner. Because police work, especially when it comes to intelligence and investigations, if you not get that rapport or the interaction with the civilian population, it's difficult for make you go achieve anything. Policeman by himself not to magic. They work with information. And mostly whether they provide this information are the civilian population. And within that time they try for also get this criminal intelligence service where I talk about it middle in time, or make them go see how effective they will transform. They will take them or make it left to the criminal intelligence service or continue with special branch. But along the line, they believe say they can work well, so maybe they just integrate them. Make the integrator and make them get a better service from them.
Okay, before I hand you over to Mr. Shyllon, we're going to put her in contact so through the talk. You say you work as a close protection officer in the police. You can give a background as to how that close protection service be set up, how they do selection and appraisal of officers them, and waiting have been the code of conduct. Because then they go able make you put into perspective in relationship to what is being proposed now.
I go only advise everybody where they work, of course, when I don't serve, when I don't manage people. Whatever you do them, giving it your best. When they do you evaluate yourself, and somebody they on the side where they see you, they evaluate you based on your conduct, production, professionalism, and any aspect of following the first order we will get now in first order. So whenever it comes for make them go select people them or go at the intelligence, they can look if na uniform branch today or the CID or somewhere else, they can ask and pick people away they feel say they were then go serve the purpose. And when una go, it not mean say because they recommend you or they send you for the intelligence for holding a special branch, you just go, you walk in and get some things that we training there. But we on time for make you first qualify and get something like a plate. And go put diamonds, and put toffee, and put sugar on the side, and put all half things there. Then pass them around. After that, then give paper. They say it's a memory test. Tell me what you see. You know, from there they can try for pick up, like if there's any outside, motorcar pass. You could pick up that motorcar number plates, which is motorcar in color, height, and so we get that memory test for make them see who that. And as time they go on, they still repeat and how the elimination process they go. Every sort of training, we do training on sabotage, terrorism, counter-terrorism, intelligence application, report writing, collating reports, intelligence activities, everything. So once they don't get UNA, say they were, we then go through all this training also. Whenever there is a government change or maybe there is a government way, one, President they ask for security. That's for sure, that's the bottom line. Police always know say they provide security for government. And it not new for say SPS for can provide security for judges, vice presidents, former presidents, former vice president. It's not new. It's happening up to this point. Maybe the only post we now enjoy now the former vice president, Chief Alhaji Samsumana, as far as I know. But like the late ABK, Dr. Abubakar, Dr. Salia Jusu Sharif, Dr. Joe Denby, they all, even when they left office, they retain the security system, then deal with them. Special brand, they provide security for them. And they give them weapons, and they deal with them. So it not mean say, if you're not president, you're not the vice president, you left, then just left you so. It's happening up to this day. Of course, we know the former president, Alex Bakoma, everybody knows he gets a security detail and everything in a sitting. He came to the late Pakaba, President Ahmed Jankaba. He maintained his security until the time of death. Then they changed them. Now, government, they paid it. So, when they come, but I not think say, it will serve we well, looking at within economy. When we struggle for pay, the one that we did, not just only this government, even successive governments, the police or the security sector, it's not, I'm not going to say they underrate them, but it not get what you forget. So at a time like this, before we bring something new, we can stretch the existing in economy. I think say we just need for beef up what we get, because from the time we know Pashekin time, take on to President J.F. Romo, President Kaba, and then they comes the military, because they always, when they take over, they get the military set up for security. But as far as civilian presidents they are concerned, there has never been any security lapse. Or say, oh, they send security under, why they say security and send a close protection guard, you go misconduct, or find them say you're unprofessional and nothing say don't happen. But make I give you now a very important thing. When peace don't come in Salon, when the late President Kababinde, the late Kofi Annan visit Salon, he goes to security there. Now the UN Secretary General by then, he goes to security there. And I go only guess who that they did it. When they notice a special branch been did for provide that security what he need, and they know what in the special branch need. I mean, the security them is so relaxed. I not want to say them go take time and rest and sleep, but they were so relaxed because they know say this now an intelligence security close protection setup we actually go able to protect with VIP.
Okay, before we go further into the bill, Mr. Shyllon, over to you. Get anything from within Mr. Aziz don't say for ask?
Yeah, I just want to ask one or two questions. Mr. Aziz, you tell me about the structure of the protective service. Do you know, or do you know whether now or during your time, do they go through psychological or periodic psychological evaluation, the people who are in the special protective service, or will not get that, they're not involved? Psychological evaluation.
Yeah, psychological evaluation is not been there per se, but you go through a medical screening, and from there, now they then go actually try to check sight, sound, for make sure say you are mentally sane, or make people do what they do. So when they do all things, then they want to be like a psychological evaluation. Which if they do them now, it's very good. Make them do a psychological evaluation, even with present serving members. It's good to make them do them.
Okay, so it's something that they're not to do now, but it's a good thing to be incorporated into what is being done now. Now that, right?
Yeah, it has not been in existence, but I think it would be something good to incorporate it now.
Recommended. Yeah. Okay. Then, of course, people being what we are, as we are, no matter what we do, regardless of age, there are times where all they handle pressure differently. And this so-called, excuse me, not the so-called, but this national security issue, this close protective service, it gets some degree of pressure on the people within that group there, not so? I mean, it's not an easy thing because you are responsible for the safety and well-being of not only the country, but the president, the vice president, and top officials and foreign dignitaries. So that it's a pressure that I cannot imagine, but I'm sure it affects the mind to some degree. So the question, the question, because the reason why I think say this psychological evaluation periodically, and for them, I don't think say now the system of parliamentarians for us choose when such psychological evaluation should be done. They need to get the advice of a psychologist or a psychiatrist or an expert. We'll go say every 2 years, every 1 year, every 3 years. Because if we try to strengthen the system itself, that's what I would suggest. Because otherwise, you will see some parliamentarian just say, oh, every 5 years, every 10 years, because we know the base things a lot of times on we know to do with due diligence, right? So my other question is, the special branch, you mentioned something about robberies as part of one of the areas, the activities of robbery. They're in that protective category there, correct?
Yeah, there's an anti-robbery unit. Anti-robbery under the police.
Okay, under the police.
In the patrol, the over.
Okay. Now, even with that, because since we talk about this bill, and all of that will come under that, we know robbery in Sierra Leone is kind of, and I would say commonplace, but we get it's frequent all around the country. So my question is, what steps, such as a 991 access telephone to the police, or in the event of a robbery, because we know sometimes robberies go as far as people being held under gunpoint. So in that area there, which in the government you will recommend the government add to what we already have in terms of minimizing or preventing the proliferation of robbery, or minimizing or reducing robberies in terms of how the citizens then will react in the event of a robbery. Because right now, as I understand it, and that's why we have you here so you can correct me, if somebody comes for rob a place, the people who are within that structure, they have if they don't have arms themselves, they have very little protection in terms of getting assistance from the police, as far as I understand. There is no 911 or emergency number you can call. The police, they don't get vehicle such as motorcycle or patrol cars where they go to able patrol areas where activities of robbery is kind of frequent, nor do they have the means by which they will arrive at the scene of a crime within a reasonable time for prevent the loss of life. Am I right or am I wrong in terms of what I just said? Prevention, if you are a victim of a robbery, you can't get to the police right away, and you can't get the police in a reaction in terms of preventing that from happening. So I just want to get your opinion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shyllon. I will come on the psychological aspect, but make I just address on this we come up with. Indeed, people then they become victims of robbery, not as a result of negligence from the police, but as a result of resources. You mentioned some of them. If Western area, it's just an example, if Western area, let's say Freetown, only gets one vehicle for patrol, let's say an incident they happen at Lumley, then another incident happen at Eastern, then call. You know, we expect from them left footing they do na Lumley or go na Eastern. I think now a situation of resources. So that brings me to the close protection. That brings me to the state protective services. The money, resources, training, where they want put to their people here. Why not just build the existing structure we have, for which they have never been ineffective? I want to make the acting director. He don't deal with he don't deal with the security sector for some time. He can make a point lapses there where the police not able to address. All the areas are starting from CID, special branch, anti-robbery, and all the segments of the police. Choku, the only thing they will cry resources. Not like they are not effective. They are very, very much effective. So why not give them refreshers training? Instead of it go start somebody from scratch. Even though it's again for bring some people in from the police, they bring some from the military, and they get some civilian. And they try for discarding the civilian coming in. But if you get an existing structure where you go build small, or make you beef them up, make them continue with their activity, trust me, I think it's a good thing for do. And it's not a challenge, but the state protective services, where they come, if you check their salary, it will be more than the current police active police officers there. So why a team economy will get? So let's come to the psychological evaluation we will be talking about. When I do my state agency, also I work as a state agent in Pennsylvania. I go through psychological evaluation, 500 questions. Have you ever tried marijuana? Have you ever, for the last 6 months, you don't smoke jamba for the last 8 months, you don't drink rum, all that. 500 questions. If you see somebody you kidnap somebody, if you shoot them right away or you defend away. Those are all questions to make them know how your mental capacity is and how you address issues. And I think we need that. And when I answer my own questions, they call me back. They say, we've never seen somebody like you, because I know when they smoke jamba, I know when they drink rum. So when I say no, not applicable, do not believe. Because somebody you get for own weapon, you get for going to critical places, you get for make critical decisions. In case of a kidnap, the kidnapper owns somebody. How are they able to make that kidnapper left that person? If you not left her, what you go do for in terms of security aspect? So if you not go through the psychological evaluation and they say kidnapping, I was supposed to shoot somebody until we shoot now, the post with them, now you go shoot. So we need a psychological evaluation. Very good. I think if we even be on a 2-year basis, or a periodic basis, we after some time then do them, because like you say, it's a very stressful work. You get weapon, and I can always tell people them, when they give you weapon, they train you, they give you weapon. They not give you weapon for shoot animal, they not give you weapon for shoot dog. They give you weapon for make you shoot mortal man, because they go protect somebody. And then they see lion come for can attack you VIP. Now mortal man they come for can attack you VIP. So they always train you the areas they wait for weakening. And for make that decision, they for get some calculation. I need for draw me weapon now, or maybe use some other intervention remedies. So if state protective services, they come with that, I know they condemn that, but I think it will be broad-based to the current security, framework where they now, or do reevaluate them, or see who they actually carry gun again. Are they proposed direction? They say they don't want to see somebody they won't gun. It has never happened. Yeah, it's not a challenge. Respectfully, I'm disagreeing. It has never happened. All the close protection officers, the way they see special branch, anybody who deal with a VIP, their weapons are concealed. They can take it to the bank. Their weapons are always concealed. So, we can't say they make out state protection because they want to make people able to protect we leaders them. That's true. We want protection for we leaders them. That's true. Security is paramount in any country. And that's true for make everybody feel safe. Because for an investor safe, you try to get somebody in a salon, not just a salon, you want to get any side, you say, is the country safe? If they think of other things then, but is it safe? And which are the safety come out? Apart from pandemic and other things, now security, safety, people they need. And if somebody or an entity don't provide this safety all the time, even if they get one lapse or two, it don't mean say if we bring a new one, build on the existing one where they beef them up, give them the training where they need, give them the instruments the way they want, and see, we get a very good force. That's how they tell anybody. And that's not the institution where build me for make I able to do what I do so today.
Well, let me, before I pass you over to Mr. Mengot, I just ask one other question. Just for clarity. At the present, we do not have an emergency line, telephone line, or any means by which, in the event of an emergency such as a crime, that one can call the police for assistance. Is that correct?
No, sir, we do. We get emergency lines when they give that I know. I'm not getting numbers now. Maybe somebody will call, but yes, we do have emergency lines in case there's something going on. Only problem we have, resources. Let's say they have one vehicle, and that vehicle is attending to an emergency, and an emergency occurred in another area. It's always a challenge to move from one step one place to the next. So if they are given the resources they need in terms of movement, in terms of equipment, honestly, they will be effective more than even thinking about adding another security structure to what we have now.
If I may interrupt you, there comes a comment saying Abdul Aziz was my squad mate at PTS. He was amongst the best recruits during our days. So I just want you to know that. So as we proceed, now you say we get an emergency number. Is this an emergency number that the public knows about? And is it linked to with cell phones in Sierra Leone? So any citizen has access to that number there, because you know, Usa you in Pennsylvania, Usa me in North Carolina, Usa Mengot Day in England. Almost every citizen, even a child, knows. You get picking away, the parents even beat them, they know how to call 911. Okay, so we can't just talk the talk, we get for walk the walk. So if we are talking about security and intelligence and all this kind of thing, as you say, resources matter. And resources not get to be wasted. It has to be put into infrastructure to make this country and the system better. So now I just depend on this emergency phone line, because Turay and some states, cell phones are not linked to 911, or they were not at one point linked to 911. Now I think they are. So I wonder whether Sierra Leone or people have, because almost everybody in Sierra Leone now, or a large percentage of the people in Sierra Leone have access to telephones, cell phones. So it would make life easier in the event of an emergency. So people should be made aware through public service announcement of the availability of then a number here. Now you talk about the one car situation, which sounds to me like a reality. Well, we need not talk about the fact that it's shameful to even talk about one car in a police force.
No, not necessarily one car to have, Mr. Shyllon. It's just an example, but they have three cars.
Can we deal with the reality? Like Freetown, approximately how many police cars will be around patrolling areas? I mean, because we're dealing with real thing.
Let's say Freetown is divided into various divisions. So I will tell you, every division actually has a vehicle. But if that vehicle is assigned for the local unit commander, and the patrol vehicle is there, and the patrol vehicle, you cover a wide area, let's say you cover the eastern part of Freetown, and the vehicle needs some maintenance. It goes to the garage. That day, it's difficult for make personnel that will go on patrol, because now one vehicle there for that division, apart from the local unit commander and vehicle, they one day for operations. If you then get 2 or 3, one go in a garage, then we will go out to the other 2. But so to all divisions get 2, 3 vehicles then. So the resources for me, we then go and put on state services, on a beef up in our and now coming to the call number. To the best of my recollection, I think say police gets number order for call. The problem we get maybe sensitization for make the public will be aware, say this number na info call in the case of emergency. But sometimes radio stations, they announce emergency numbers, police numbers for call. But now everybody, they pay attention to that? No. Only when there is an emergency, only when somebody get an issue. Now the tell will say, oh, if I've been getting this police number, for call police. So, like here, picking everybody know the number way for call, because we pay attention to that. So many people say, pay attention, because I know say, except maybe within the last few months, it changed, but mobile company service providers, they support police with numbers for call. But or say the people and they pay much attention to them, I think say no. Maybe if I look my phone, I probably must get one of the numbers. But yeah, there are numbers for the population to call.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mengot, back to you.
Well, Mr. Aziz, one thing I can tell you, as the ensign of this program, I wear a lot of hats. I mean, I personally work with the police. I can tell you, I can proudly say, I'm one of the first Sierra Leoneans that way voluntarily work with the police, giving technical advice on traffic management and road safety. And I know say during that 10 day, one of the things that we've been do, we will get numbers we've been circulate for every police station within the Freetown area. That I can confirm say they are available. But now, I'm very much familiar with the police operations, but although me at the traffic management side, but traffic management also involves security. Before I take you further, there is somebody who will send a statement. If Mr. Shyllon can read that for you.
Yeah, I say the emergency number is 117 for AfroCell, Orange, and QCell mobile networks. Okay, I get questions on that. But they say the AfroCell, because they get multiple cell phone companies, but they specify AfroCell. Does that mean by implication different cell phone company get different emergency number? I don't know. But based upon what the person say, emergency number is 1174 AfroCell. What about the other ones? But I don't want to take you off because me, the lawyer, want me to think. I don't want to take you off, Mr. Mengot, which you to say. We'll get to that. Because we are talking about improving the system. So the need for stop this mediocre way of trying for students to do things. If you want to do it right. If you make road, make them good. So we know what roads never look like. If we want to do emergency, we want to improve intelligence service, let's do it right. We know we just do them for the top guns. We have to be for the citizen too. So some of them, what they ask, these are some of the flaws then of the system. Everything is casually dealt with, and then at the end, you end up with inefficiency. So, but go ahead, Mr. Mengot.
Okay, let me clarify that 117 as far as I know. There's another comment before I go any clarification. Is there another comment?
Oh, well, there was a comment who come before this. He said, I think that somebody to say, he said, good afternoon, my brother. A long time, Mr. Turay. But he didn't say, he just said, good afternoon. He said,
okay, now.
Then he said, happy to see you again.
Now, for that 117 day wait and talk, as far as I know, we get NATCOM, when at the National Commission for they regulate all telephone service providers. So under the agreements where the mobile companies and get with NATCOM, that number then a free phone number, we're applicable to all the what you call the providers of mobile phone providers, because the main one who get a salon na Orange, AfroCell, and QCell. So there's a single number we can dial, which is not tariff based. So that is what we have that 117 day for. Now let's come to Mr. Aziz. One of the things that this na Kumbra question I ask you. Because Kumbra question, you get the mommy, you get the picking. Right? When we've been getting director the last time, it tell we say one of the reasons we make this bill come into place now because the legal basis for some of the operation them not been clear. Because there are so many layers of agencies and everything. Then it tell we about MACP, where as we know what's in a MACP, a military assistant to civil police. Yeah. So in your view, You think, say, there are gaps in the law when it comes to operation, chain of command between the different security services? And how does MACP relate to this SPSS as the Director of Intelligence?
From my own view, I don't think says SPS will stop MACP in operations at all, because waiting SPS therefore from what we read and what we tell we now for protect a sitting president or a former president, vice, look at diplomats and other, visiting diplomats and embassies, for which I believe say special branch close protection they do right now. So for say they bring, so when something happen at the country, now state protective services members say they take for care go day, where you see no one see gun, no one see people old gun they go around. No, it not makes sense. No, it will convince me on that. Because state protective services now for limited number of people left. How often will they get visitors for Kana Salon? Let's say they come every day. But the number of state protective services the way one gets, then go over the current police structure. Again for Bishop for making able to protect all. And with Constitution, Chapter 2, Fundamentals, Principles of the State Policies. It provides, say, who for cater for everybody, 2B. I think now 2B. Yeah? 5-2B. Who for cater for everybody, not a selective few, but will get priority, for which, whatever the case may be, the president always gets in security. Sacrosanct. The vice president gets security. Ministers then get them close protective service people with the close protection officer will always deal with them. Pass you no want her, but then they provide them for them. So bring something where you say this is the day for them category of people here. I think say it is stretch the thin economy where we get, and there will be conflicts in the chain of command. We know we'll see her now because we get people them where on two sides we get the under the camp, the support, the under the camp, the state for this. But I just throw light on one conflict will happen leading to January 6, 1999. This is now the time we'll get the ECOMOG and then a salon. And by then we get the late President Kabak. And at that time we get a Nigerian as the chief security officer. We get a Nigerian who's been there with some intelligence personnel, close protection. We get the current IG as the assistant chief security officer. When time we get General Kobe, the other general there, when time reach for Easter, the late presidents, they give resources for the Christian personnel there, who they can give, for make them feel good, they on duty, for make them feel good. When time reach for the Muslim occasion, like pray or that thing there, then they give resources for the Muslim officers there. This don't pass years, which everybody know what we will talk about. And give resources leading to Christmas for the officers. When the January 6th invasion day, because we've been there with them, we didn't lodge, our presidential lodge with the president. When January 6th, because that day they have been there on duty, I read among the officers here, they say, well, now then they give logistics this time, make them go fetch. So she have a problem there on the chain of command. Now then they give logistics, now they don't tell me this, now they get Christmas, say New Year, make them go fetch. So you see some kind of negligence. So let's say you get the SPS, you keep them, you provide for them, everything for provide for them. Something happened. that officer will need to get equivalent to the SPS. Say, I mean, at the NPP, make them good enough. Make them try it. There will be conflict. But from where we start, ever, we'll not get that kind of thing. It's not written on stone, but Lord just marker. So I think say we will always, or there will be some amount of conflict when we get a setup like that. That's my advice.
Okay, now let's deal in particular with the State Protection Service as it is in the bill. The first thing I want to clarify, they say there shall be the State Protection Service Committee under the direction from the National Security Council. Then the committee, it will comprise of the National Security Coordinator as chairman, where I believe say that in the Maui at ONS, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Inspector General of Police, the Director General Central Intelligence and Security, Chief of Staff, Office of President, Director General, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Financial Secretary, and Director of State Protection Service. So that set up the, where I will call say, now the people, the body where they manage the State Protection Service. You can see they come from diverse backgrounds. From your experience, you feel say they all go able to work together for actually manage the SPSS properly?
Well, that will be the expectation for make them all will work.
Yeah.
But we are humans. We must get some kind of, we call them petty jealous, but you get some different view. If million sector, they do more, but they receive less compared to a unit. They get more, but they do less. I think, say, when something happens, most time, responsibility shift. Even though the chain of command can always speak, whether for the up, whether in the middle tier, whether in the bottom tier. But there are times the man within at the bottom tier, very much effective. If they do more, unless it's not about them. So when they get a situation like that, you get for the ask. How they go manage it? Because even though you get a superior, you get a supervisor, some instructions and they way they give you, you look and say, why this man for giving that kind of instructions? Yeah. But let me just get this. I not actually know, because I think now one of the questions in that way lead me forget the invite for Kenya. I not actually know the correct background, security background of the proposed director of SPS. And it is common that who feels it knows it.
Okay, just hold on. Let me help you with that. Sorry, sir. Sorry for the interruption. Let me help you something right there. Then I will read, because me, I like evidence-based. Because the bill says there will be a director of SPS. And that director there is appointed by the president, subject to approval by parliament. So in other words, it's under the president. And let me read what's in the criteria from the bill. Then you go tell me what's in your view. Because sometimes you go able, because under section 36, subparagraph 2 of the bill, it says the person shall not be qualified for appointment of the director. Take note of this. 1, again, for be a citizen of Sierra Leone. 2, he has not been convicted of criminal offense, including fraud and dishonesty. 3, he is not an active member of a political party. 4, is not a serving member of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces or the Sierra Leone Police Force, is a holder of a master's degree from a recognized university. So what do you think about that? To me, it looks so, because from this criteria, as a layman, me not in the security sector, there is nothing in this qualification where say this person forget security background. The only reference to that is say enough to be a serving member of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces or the Sierra Leone Police Force, which likely means that the person where they head or where they go choose for head this SPSS will be somebody where sometimes nice civilian. And this insistence of we having a master's degree from a recognized university. So from your experience as a serving professional and a close security guard, where you been dated, wouldn't have been the person who been the head, in a way been the provide close protection, and waiting have been in background.
Will not ever get somebody from the civilian populace of head the intelligence, the criminal investigation department, the close protection, and all the rest of security apparatus. Will not ever get anybody from the civilian population or can head them. And mind you, this, I don't want to say if you go through, it's already almost through because of waiting Adoyeri from the director. Mind you, then people here, if you therefore get police officers, then where you therefore take from the current structure of police. Rank and file, yeah, from day one a day. Let's say you take somebody from the intelligence service like me, then you, the director, not get not general intelligence, but security intelligence, you not get. And there are times when we write to reports, they use intelligence codes. It will be difficult for you for decoder. The sector where they go give, it will no say na me you that intelligence day. They classify we information, we report them. A1, you know, classify. But for me, somebody come from the out, I get a question on that. And if, and that's only if the person, Dr. Moana, I no go share with, now him or be the director, I think say he get political background, not political background or political attachment and affiliation to the SLPP. That I can tell you. He's from Texas, and if you put a survey right now, or make we come up with things they all know about them for the SLPP, it will pile up. And I will tell them, I will say from here, sitting from here, Dr. Moana don't participate and actively campaign for SLPP, now Mamba TV. And US, now US and Pennsylvania now. Dr. Moana gets in causing the way they get diverse view, based on the APC, Indian SLPP, they try to bring them in. He knows that. So if you say enough forget any political attachment, we are all political animals.
Now what it said it's not an active. No, look at it's an active member of a political party. And I think so for me,
no.
For me, waiting on me fair. Yeah, because this don't come on other side. Where, how do you define active member? That is a bit ambiguous.
Very much ambiguous.
Unless you say, yeah,
of a political party, whether you are active or you have some kind of sympathy for that political party. You are a card carrier. So there is some amount of sympathy coming from you for that very political party. But let's put this aside. I have never seen, even from Salon up to here, or met somebody who for command an elite unit like that. They go and go campaign. When I push me there, when I go see the effective and I have never seen that.
Okay, let's give another example. I remember say one of the first person the way President Kababi appoints as head of the ONS, right, was retired Brigadier Kelly Conte, the military man. True? Now,
very true.
The present head of ONS, where I think saying Mr. Abdullah Koka or whatever, are you aware whether he get a security background or he don't serve in the force, whether police or army?
I forget for make a disclaimer right away when I start, because I know say one or two people that go one come in because I put Dr. P.K. Mwana on the spot. I am a card carrier of the.
I will have asked you that.
I've served as a chairman of the APC North America. I served as a chairman of the APC Diaspora, and I'm a card carrier. So if I condemn, make somebody not feel say it's coming from the political lens. I'm talking on security here. So, and waiting for talk about reconnaissance security, we go talk and now put the political cap they will get aside. But it is
so again, what I ask, the current ONS man, we get very much neither the National Security Coordinator. Are you aware of his background, or you not work with her anywhere?
No, I never work with him. I never area the security structure.
Okay. Now, the other thing I would like for we refer to, because Dr. Mwana been say the people that when they bring the SPSS, then get a screening process. You tell we how they don't begin screen them, the one that we don't fall aside. And he said to we, these people that when they in the SPSS, they could get special skills where the present people where they provide close protection security service not get. What do you think about that comment?
I will
as you don't serve in that capacity.
I will totally disagree, and as a matter of fact, I will look and say in some way they demean the current serving personnel, because they know they serve presidents, they know they serve vice presidents, they know they serve top officials. There has never been any issue when they serve them. But for can say they not get the professionalism where it take for make them serve that side. Because listening,
no, in fairness, you don't say they not get professionalism. You say they need additional training and skills.
So if
in other words, you say then why with the SPS is that the modern day protection where they need, the current people and they get for upskill them, they not get them. So are you aware of waiting now the additional skills they will warrant this special protection service we forget this group of people they way now they can't put now? Now that's what they ask.
Mr. Mengot, you don't need to be a rocket scientist for making know some of the things here. If they can't train somebody with special skills, and as somebody will get for use weapon as some way, where do you already know now how to use weapon? Not so just additional, then you go get somebody from scratch.
Training, yeah.
I think say for me, it's not making much of a sense to me. We already have. Just give them refreshers training and put them there. They're already serving. They already have what it takes. When I start my discussion, I tell them, I say, before you come at the intelligence branch, then they do that kind of, that memory test now like a psychological thing by them, for make them see how it will retain information and which you will remember right away. We go training, we do training like sabotage, terrorism, counter-terrorism. They lecture you on all the one and the handling of weapon and all those kind of things. They talk about modern day threats. What are the modern day threats where the current personnel they know able, do psychological evaluation, give them a lift. What they know we're able to do. Perhaps we'll create something new where it costs we resources. Give them some kind of protection, immunity, where the other one they not get. The Secret Service where they try for compare out Salon, the Secret Service not get absolute immunity in Ayaso. Now the US, anybody can check out. And I serve as a state agent here. Secret Service not get the blanket immunity where state protection services get. But when they come at TV, it say, oh, not to show AV, but what is on paper? When they say they are not questionable for anything, Ebo, they assume, but they talk about waiting day. They are not questionable for any wrongdoing, anything. I will look for the various sections there. If somebody they come with them, when the police do something, they appear out of the room. If not crime order for dismissal and dismissal, now you get the CDI ID under the police, where even a man and woman palaba safe, you do some kind of thing, officer, police officer, they can go report in a CDI ID and the investigator and get all them things in there. So if they can't get a state protective services where they say they're immune from problem prosecution, they're immune from things that they do, I think it's difficult. Where even the president, section 48.
Now, in fairness to what you been telling me, you not say they're immune. It say there will be a test of whether they acted in good faith. That was what he said to us.
He said here, he has been on interview on Truth Media. He has been on interview on AYV. He's been on the interview on this three other Liberty TV.
Oh.
I have not seen him on. Maybe he has been there, but he has had a one-on-one encounter with the former Attorney General,
JFK. I listened to that one.
He highlighted, Mr. Okay. JFK highlighted some bad bill. Let's don't downplay it. Let us don't downplay it. The bill, okay. I call it an act. I find trouble again, Mr. Mengot. I find it very troubling. Yeah. This he's trying to set up a unit, and he's saying that's his initiative. That's fine. You're trying to set up a unit. Already you are claiming to be the director. As if that's not too much important. But before the president signing it to become an act, they have already started the training process. Because they're going through medical interview and everything. You've interviewed all these people. Is it not putting the cart before the horse? Or the horse before the cart? Come on. Let's be sincere here. Make we get everything the president sign and it's an act. Not going into recruitment process. But how genuine is this recruitment process?
Mr. Shyllon, I saw some comments coming through. If you get anyone for read, and then I think for be fair, I want to take Mr. Aziz through, according to the bill, what's at the responsibility of SPS. Let's tell we, from my experience, whether the responsibility and a new one or a two that already they do. There's a comment there for him too.
Yes, sir. Let me read what's on the screen. The wide experience of Lawyer Aziz in the security architecture is resounding. He worked for years as an intelligence officer liaison. And here in the United States, he is well placed in that position. So if I don't need to read it again, before I switch to Mr. Mengot, let me just ask a couple of questions. So to summarize, Mr. Turay, you are saying, like I think it's in America, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In other words, you say the special security and the intelligence structure is very well intact. All it needs is resources and improvement of current skills. And that is a better thing to do than for bring additional and new people and start from scratch, which is going to be more expensive and may not even have adequate resources, which means they will end up with half and half training, worse than the current one. And there is a risk, if I understand you correctly, that this will lead to the destruction of the current structure, not intentionally, but that will be the result. As if they go this route, they want to go. That because as it is now, you have very high regard, you have very high respect for the security system as it is structured. Of course, they need more training, and that's where government should be more focused on, not trying to replace or
something new.
Yeah, no, because as far as you're concerned, it's not broken, so don't try to fix it, but you can improve it. So Dana one, Mr. Mengot asked you another question about there are some requirements, but I just want to go into the thing about this master's degree. Is it, you see that as a necessary qualification, the master's degree, to be qualified for any of them position over in the chalkboard? Because to me, it will eliminate a lot of very competent, able, educated people, you know? So do you agree with that, the master's degree requirement? Does it add anything to the effectiveness of waiting in the trial for implement?
It's a very difficult thing where they put a cap on them. I will tell you, people in day where don't serve at the force. They are not the intelligence, not the military intelligence branch, MIB and whatnot, OSD. Most of them not been getting the opportunity for going to school and able to get a bachelor's degree, let alone a master's degree. But when we come at the job, now most of them want and then they train with. Then train with, they make we become better people. Do they have the master's degree we are calling for now? No. Is there the experience? Yes. And honestly, when some officers then, when they accept now the police, because now they serve more, they come as cadet officers. And because they come as cadet officers, they're not going to start within the constable, corporal, sergeant. Some they come and start as sub-inspectors. Now that man or that woman will not get that bachelor's degree then or no go college. Now in they show them most of the police routine duties. So if we put a cap, say it has to be a master's degree, they disenfranchise somebody will get the qualification. And most of una will come from that era there, una know this here, QBE, qualified by experience. Not all man gets the master's degree, but experience. So I think so for look into that, not just, I can come with a master's degree, but I do not have the security background or knowledge what it means. And I'm here managing security personnel. It's very difficult. Maybe what they're speaking or what they're bringing to me, I may not see it because I do not have what they have according to the security knowledge. So the issue of a master's degree, I think it should be considered. And everything about this SPS, I'm glad for now the president hasn't signed yet. Let him carefully look into it. And also, not because, as I said, I carry party card, but during the debate of passing this bill to an act, the opposition was not there. not just because they are not there. You will say, oh, they're not come because they've been supposed for day. But I think the fundamental Article 2, subsection 5(2)(b), he encouraged the people to participate in the activities and administration of the state. We be don't go to the local communities here to talk to them? Maybe not. Would I for talk to them? Maybe at the parliamentarians. They may get opportunity for talk to them? No. If from experience we look when we been get that safe abortion bill, we parliament pass and everything, bring on to president for make it sign up. But we get religious leaders there. Other people them wake up. We say, President, look into this bill also. Or maybe send them back. President Kurman not been signing. Because things then they what they need for do, what they not do. If, as it is, as from what I read from the proposed or the interim director, it's going to be rubber stamps, it's going to be signed. But mind you, I'm not thinking we engage the people who are supposed to engage. We try for manage, for engage journalists them. Maybe yes, na free time, maybe. We try for engage people from the academia. If you ask about who university students them, they will tell you, I don't know, maybe something I already discussed on our radio. Do we try to have community engagement? I don't think so. Do we try to have, say, okay, the bar association or the lawyers, una say pass this. Some people are through their radio, the online discussion, and I didn't know. I'm not thinking we get the proper engagement for many people they know what's not this SPS, State Protective Services. And if a unit they come with purposely designated for few people, I'm not thinking they serve the entire country. Whereas you look at the security set or architecture of Salone, it is serve the entire country. So I think it will make sense for make president send them back, make them look some of the things they point out, and make them give the opposition an opportunity for make them discuss, maybe, they say take the sense, leave the nonsense out. It's just my advice.
Okay, let I go one side, because I'm glad what you say consultation, because we get the director, he said one of the people then we been comment on the bill we then take into consideration now an organization called ILRAI, I think say now some lawyer public interest entity. Now I have been involved in my past life in lawmaking policies and bill review, although in the UK. And I know say we adopt the same system in Salone, with parliamentary procedures are the same according to we stand in orders, where if there's a law where they affect the states, that one like this SPSS, because we don't SPS, because we say now from the consolidated revenue, then they fund them. Also, we they look at things to build equity, because then talk say they want to make provision for recruit women them, albeit within the forces. I just say, I support you also, like say we forget a wider consultation where people then go send concern to Parliament through the Legislative Committee or through the clerk. You've been given some documents prior to this interview where you do a forensic examination of this bill. Question number one, did you make any attempt for sending to Parliament, or who did you share it with apart from us?
I share them, I send them, and the person make sure say he can go. because I not see anything up to the time leading for make them pass them in parliament. Now that make allow for make them publish in a newspaper. And like
So who do you say that to?
I said I make sure see they get and go.
Not so who was
And I
it?
make-
Because normally when I was working in the parliamentary committee in the UK, when we do something like that, we actually direct people them if they get any what you can call written evidence or additional concern, they can forward it to the clerk of that particular committee. In Sierra Leone now, like that document there, if I go to the clerk of the committee for the attention of the chairman of the legislative committee, were you aware of the procedures for sending kind document in there, or did you follow those procedures? Or you just give somebody, say, let them carry and go parliament? How did you plan to get it to parliament?
I envelope them, make sure, well, I send the documents with how I see my signature, my electronic signature. Make sure they seal them the day when they get to go hand them over to the clerk of parliament. First to me, actually, I deliver the documents. Now, because I not see, but usually, like I say, most times, if it's coming from somebody who you are perceived to be on the other side, sometimes they say, forget it. So now, because I see...
So you not even get acknowledged receipt of which documents we send?
Ever. Now, that make allow for making them publish, and so citizens, they will get time for buy that newspaper, they will able to read that. And if you look at the date, before they pass them, they can go to president.
So which newspaper they been published? Okay.
I think I sent
You know, say you don't say that. For the benefit of we listeners, the way they read Salon newspaper, can you give us some sort of like key pointers to your concern on the bill? What's in your main concern? What's in your bone of contention?
Well,
Just give us something. Me don't read them.
Well, when I look the way SPS they come, I look at it's like a duplicating entity. If they come for can't do something we already then they do. I point out the economical issues then where you get for experience, because you get for, like you say now, from the consolidated fund that they take for manager and service them. Also look at the chain of command, the conflicting aspects of oversight. I talk about various things then. I provide for them the current security setup with it, and waiting they do. And from waiting, they see and hear from the director, I think there's not much difference, just like what they talk now. So I point out most of them things in there and send them to them. But maybe it not makes sense, which is well and good. But like Mr. Shyllon, they say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Again, equally, if you know something, say something. So because some people are not able to read them, then I decide to make her say something.
Okay, one last thing, because we talk about that. Let you elucidate, then I'll hand you over to Mr. Shyllon. Because the director been said that, I'll read them verbatim, where I mean verbatim, word for word. This come under the State Protection Service personnel, when I'm in section 33. Subparagraph 5, it say an action, because use your legal and explain this to me. Because if you know concern, it say an action or other proceedings shall not lie or be instituted against a member of the State Protection Service or a committee set up by the State Protection Cabinet for or in respect of an act or thing done or omitted to be done in good faith under the act. What did I mean? It sounds so
I go
cumbersome.
only
They are,
add.
as a lawyer and a state protector, break and down for it, they are big.
I go
Well, I
only
read them
add
back.
to it. No, I've been done in that how it's called. Now section 33.5, right? I think I will still
Yes,
remember.
yes,
Section
section 33.5.
35. Yeah. Just like I talk about the what's it called, Secret Service now, when they try for get the model, they not get this kind of blanket amnesty at all. And I call them blanket amnesty. I also talk to now about what in the Constitution says, section 48. Yeah, 48.4. We say the president, where they serve, will bring an action against them when it is served for things that we do in office or privately. But that not mean say after, they will bring one against them. But if you come into the police, then take the same oath or make the serve the people of Salone, protect lives and property. But when they do something way not right, they're not immune to prosecution. They're not immune for make them go through the laws of Salone. But here is a unit where they come, where they say if they do anything, when they conduct the operations, and knowing how the human being they, sometimes when they conduct the operations, and go overboard. Say, oh, okay, well, not that will mean, now this will mean, but waiting in writing, legally, now you get for deal with, say anything or anything done. Any act or anything done. I think say, now that make with the advice for make them go review and back. Some of the I's they make them go dot them. Some of the T's make them go quarter. But if it is so, it prone to abuse, and that no one see. Abuse, victimization, and any other thing, we will make the people suffer. Especially if you get a political opponent where you want to get rid of. Let's say you go in the form of an arrest or anything, then, God forbid, fire in commodity. They say, oh, now run if you want to run. Which you would. The law go look and back. Mr. Mengot. If they want pass and well, then don't pass them. If president wants sign, I can sign them. But now for waiting there for come tomorrow, make it look and critically, make the explain to them with some professional before he sign that law. But how it is so right now, I don't think it's helpful at all. It's scary. Not just for we they come and talk, and for the one that we don't know. When something will happen, say, well, will not be known. Please, let them go back. Let them look at it. I hope the president doesn't sign it. Send it back to them. Let it be reviewed. Allow other voices to come in. Allow the opposition to weigh in. It doesn't mean when they come in, they change everything. But take the sense out of the nonsense. I only wish the president would say, go back and take a look at it.
Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Shyllon. You got anything for Mr. Aziz?
Well, yeah, somewhat. Mr. Aziz, there are some other concerns I get about talking about this immunity from prosecution. Where, in fact, therefore come up clearly what you then the try for say, because immunity from prosecution is not the same as immunity from being sued. Because you can check and say then synonymous in the sense that it's lawsuit could be construed as a private prosecution. But normally when we say immunity from prosecution, we need something against the state. Let me stop right here. Let me read a comment before I lose it. A close protection operative must be a non-political, to be non-political as his role is to protect his or her principal from harm. Yeah, this thing is not too clear to me. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, let me start again. A close protection operative must be non-political, as his role is to protect his or her principal from harm or harmful way. Her role is purely mitigating risk. You protect your client at all costs, period. Okay, that's the best way I could read it. It doesn't read the way I want, I think, as it should be read. But the person they talk about the responsibility of the person within the protective service, which they say that you, at the paraphraser now, that you role now for keep you, the person to protect from harm's way. So, and for minimize the likelihood of anything harmful happening to the person. Then there's another one that says, Mr. Turay, I don't think it is unfair for the director to be a master's degree holder. Mind you, times have changed. Okay. I don't know why I direct that to you, say, because, okay, then there's another one. In Sierra Leone, politics consultation doesn't exist because if there was proper consultation, maybe they won't succeed in passing the bill. Okay, these are just three things that I just read. But let me go back to this. Okay, there's another one. The military is currently recruiting men and women. The qualification for officer cadet in bachelor's degree is bachelor's degree. From time immemorial, it was 5 GCE O level or was it WASCE? Times have changed.
WASCE, yeah.
Yeah, so times have changed. So now WASCE doesn't require, so I don't know much about the educational structure. So they say in the old days it was 5 GCO level, but times have changed. Then they mention WASCE. There's another one. Let me just read them all before. I hope you retain some of it, but Mr. Mengot, remember some. Dr. Moana extensively expanded on all concerns raised on this forum to date. Security matters classified. I don't know, the way people destructed and question. Mr. Aziz himself cannot say the individual he channeled, the individual he channeled his concerns to Parliament. Let me read it again. Dr. Moana extensively expanded on all concerns raised on the forum to this date. Security matters, I think it means on security matters. Mr. Aziz himself cannot say the individual he channeled, whatever that means, his concerns to Parliament.
It challenge.
Is that challenge? He said CHANNEL, not challenge.
Oh, channel.
Yeah, that's what he says. So I can't make much sense out of it. But I think it has to do with the question you were asking, Mr. Turay, with respect to who did he send his letter of objection to, and how was it delivered? I think that question is in relation to that. Whether it was delivered to the clerk of parliament and thereby working its way through to the proper committees that had something to do with what Mr. Turay was objecting to. I think your question was in that regard. So, but just going back to what I just was going to ask, because some of the things we'll get some peripheral issues then we'll come for deal with. because it's like repairing a car. Just because the car entire now one tire no more get low air pressure, and then you water pump the ambog, you fix the water pump, then you say, oh, the tire get breeze. Well, it's a matter of time. It will go flat, then the car go ambog again. So because we not deal with two issues them holistically. With the patch, then all deal with them, we not deal with them the way we should. Now, I have had serious problem in Australia with respect to police power or the exercise of police power. I think it's a gross abuse of, or a gross exercise of police power. I don't think any serious-minded country should allow the police by themselves, without regard to the law in terms of due process and constitutional protections, for just single somebody out and say, you are invited to the police station to be questioned. We already say, you say the vice president will not like a mustache, for example. Or you say something where they consider to be subjectively considered to be derogatory or offensive, but not criminally liable for, but then get the power for just call you, detain you, release you when they feel like it, and there is no process. The question is, you don't serve the police, and you're a lawyer. Don't you think that too much exercise just don't you think that's a wrong exercise and abuse of power by the police? Shouldn't we, if we want to democracy for work, for limit that power they with appears to be excessive, that the police can call you anytime. For then they use the word invite, which I've always been, I just think is the wrong metaphor. Because if you invite someone, I've always claimed, the person has the option of say not accepting your invitation. Now it's different from when you order someone. Then the person has no choice if you have the authority to order. So then keep using the phrase invited to the CID or this and that. Well, why shouldn't one have the right to decline an invitation, number one? Two, who said the police get that power? Where in the law, in the constitution that gives the police the power? That they by themselves can just assume that an offense has been committed with respect to statement made by a citizen, and subject that citizen to detention, and most times, or a lot of times, prosecution. So you don't be policeman, then you don't be in the legal profession for the good of the country. Because I understand the motivation behind the laws here. APC did a lot of that. That's what is coming back to haunt them now. They weaken the court system, they don't improve them, so they dilute the power of the court. They now make sure, say, the court can able to act independently by taking judges' livelihood from the power of the president or the presidency, and then they complain that judges are being unfair in the judgment where all the judges they hand in at the presidency mouth. Why don't we want to break away from that practice and let the president get the power for appoint a judge, but shouldn't have the power for removal from the position unless for cause and get the proper procedure in place? If we want the judiciary, then let me go one step further. You will see recently, like in Kenya, because we had independence before Kenya. We get out of colonialism before Kenya, but they are doing so much better than we are. Kenya, just recently, the Kenyan court halt an agreement between the United States and President Ruto of Kenya. When people in complaint say President Ruto agreed for letting can treat Ebola infected people them na based na Kenya. So President Ruto, in the due exercise of his office, say he get the power for do that, he go into an agreement. But the courts of Kenya were able to halt that, to look into the matter. We own country, we court them, not forget about it. They're not able to do it. They cannot stop anything the president give an order for. So I just compare. And we see this they happen in Africa. A lot forget America, Australia, Canada, all them much more advanced country. But when we see we own country, don't we think we want to make progress in that direction? They forgive the courts. We keep talking about the judiciary to be independent, but we know say the executive now they run the judiciary. What the executive says is what happens. So how do you have any concern about that? I know say I don't give a speech in the form of a question, but what would they try for talk about protective service? All NTN will work, because if this immunity would talk about, so if somebody abusing power, what court are you going to go to sue and be able to get away and be able to prevail over the government? We will not deal with the underlying cause, and the underlying cause is that too much power is vested in the presidency. So that I know I don't talk a lot, but if you can just shed a light on it for me.
Well, just like me and you, we know laws than they. But it don't mean say where somebody not try that law need to exist. Until somebody try, and you gonna say yes, that law they exist. But like you actually say, when they look at the African setup or the African government, and particularly we own country, from all aspects of it, the president gets overriding powers. Where even if you change that constitution today, once they pronounce somebody as a president, it only take few people away will look at my face and tell and say this which they do is wrong. And I learned this phrase from Colin Powell, the late man. He said for African governments, say only if you know one come back tomorrow for can do his job. Now you go look at the president and say, no, this other way give me these instructions and they do it. And that's very true. Yeah, president will say this, not to judge just rule against within the president, they say for the immigrants, then where now if you want renew your green card or for file for somebody, for make a relative, you for go back now your country for go file. A group of people and challenge them, pass a ruling. It's not going to happen. You stay in the country and do that. Tell me people that will get mind do them in our country. And when he asks for the police powers, I'm not going to give split second right now, but we get on the Criminal Procedure Act of 1965, where they repeal and amend for 2024. He did it where police get that power for like he will stop you, and if he suspects it, of course, police get the judge's rule 1. I don't know if it don't change when a police officer is trying to discover the author of a crime. They don't say they are big now from 1990.
That's good.
There's no limitation to stop and for make it go stop somebody using discretion. Just like we'll get the Morana right now, so using discretion for make it go stop them or not. But one thing I will tell you, where anybody can go research, police get a wide range, or can even say a blanket use of discretion. Police discretion not limited. Looking at the Constitution, looking at Criminal Procedure Act, it's not limited. Policeman can come in a house. If say a suspect say something that happened, it's not limited. But they get that wide power. I only hope it will reach a point where they will say, let's look into it. But discretion is open to police officers. So if you find out, say, oh, bail is free. Yeah, for police officer, I will tell you, say, maybe I see this if we left her, they go fetch that. Well, both the court and but now talk about police. It tells you if I left him, you go against the complainant. Or not to time this make we left her, to put him for protective custody. That's the professional language where police will use. Protective custody. So they will not allow make it go. If you go, they will go beat him, then kill him. Then get a wide range of discretion. And when they talk about Kenya and we look at our own country, things the way they happen, I think say we need for come back and be sincere to one another. Whoever them puts my position of trust, you get conscience, serve within the conscience. Me, daddy, when I've been in a police, they tell me to make a left police because actually they learn me Quran. I'm a Muslim. I read Quran to the end of it. I do well in Arabic and everything. If you feel say police not the bad work way, I for join. I just tell and say no to the work they do me, and me they do me work. And I tell God, thank you, I made friends while I'm in the serve. So in any position of trust where they put somebody, do your best. Because you not see yourself, somebody they will see you. And you know will come after you at that moment there. Now where you left them. If most people they realize, all the people out there in position of trust, if you call them 5, 10, 6 times, sometimes they will answer and say, oh, call them Boku, da 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 da. When they pull and they, you know, reach 5 people who they call them for the day. If they yawn for many people they call them. But no, they are not calling it because of you, they were calling it because of the position you have. But if you serve them diligently, with sincerity, they will still call you. But today, anybody gets that kind of position, you know, be it and know it all. Yeah. I serve in this, I say, I served during the SLPP as a presidential guard with the late President Shankaba, and I served as a senior policy analyst at State House, and later on became an executive assistant to the Chief of Staff. So I don't see the two. Yeah, I don't serve SLPP, I serve APC.
One last question for you, sir. I know so we don't stretch you. The police get a division. I think it's the CDIID.
But I'm just
complaint division. Yeah, if you can break that down for we and see if I can give this task as a policy analyst. How effective has it been? If it has not been, what you go recommend for let it be? Because that's not one area where citizens then able seek redress if they get problem with police. Am I right or wrong? So tell me first what's in that division there.
Honestly, I've been talking just now, maybe not pay attention, but now the division that way, every policeman not want to make them carry him day. And I will tell you, see, that one day ineffective. No policeman, senior officer or junior, do not want to make them carry the name day. Because I don't know tough nuts to crack. People then we don't have that division there. We I give example just now say even between you and your wife, something happen, your wife go reporting at CDIID. Until we come out the married, you know go make it continue. Because a place we know and go.
So for listeners, explain to we waiting at CDIID mean, let them know. No, me and you know that because we don't work in the police. But just explain to waiting and the letters and they stand for.
The complaint division that for CIA is criminal civil integrated complaint division of the CIA of the police where they care anybody where they serve the force. If people includes, if be uniform man, if be senior officer, they write something about you, they go there and they call you. Like it sees advantage for civilian, then they call you there. It comes and they investigate you rigorously. And the recommendations there. Most time because no policeman will make the seize in rest or in salary. Whilst that investigation they go on, there's a potential to make them go suspend the salary or put you on half salary whilst the investigation they go on until the end of the investigation. It is very effective, but it not also immune from orders from above. Because no matter what, the post where they head them, you get somebody where they above. And the two statements then, orders from above, and say make we left am, or I get interest in this matter, I don't think need the ambog any effectiveness of any officer wey wan, walk to the book. Na places like Salo. We don't see them, we experience them, we don't know how that will change. But with time, maybe it will change.
Well, thank you very much, sir. You've been very, very professional and succinct in answering your question. I don't get much for you. I just get for tell you thank you for week. You can give your own views. I think, sir, I'll go hand you over to Mr. Shyllon for in closing remarks. And if you have want anything where you want to express with we go and tell the people of Sierra Leone, Lord will believe in the security service, is over to you. So I'm gracefully bowing out.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Turay.
Well, at this time, I want to tell you thank you for the invite. Make I can share things they want to know about the police and the security in general, and for also for point out certain things there. In the conclusion, like I've been begin, I hope and wish the president not sign this to law yet. Make it find a way where he goes send them back in the parliament, make the review. We know we'll get 100% correct, but if we get 90, 98, at least the better. As we talk about this, not to every citizen know about it. Only would I get chance for listen to radio or maybe somehow educated them, especially who get a high rate of people and we not able to read and write. We're not able to reach another community also for talk to them. They will make efforts to review this for the second time and see waiting for Dede, waiting on it for Dede, or better off, if it is not broken, no need to fix it. If you get an engine or motorcar where they go on well, like what Mr. Shyllon will say, but the tire get problem, you will go park and go buy other motorcar. When you feel say I go fix the tire, fix the tire, buy other tire, put on there. Then he say they go buy other motorcars, so that motorcar there, now because of tire, you park her. You get all them personnel also where they work now. Then you do well. Because if we don't able to point out lapses, security breach, I think so we'll forget an issue. When we hear about the November coup, now I think that been the Panemba Road incident, we hear somebody say presidential guards and go there and go do what they for do. So that tells me say the president gets people where they gather, a house and outside. And like I say, I think now this current, or maybe because now in their life now, Al-Haji Samsumana, I think now he not gets close protection where he got in our office. All the other one, all get. First you decide say, and you know what can happen with them close protection, yeah, why make people are not able to keep them? They reach a point, let's say you don't retire, you move go to a village. This close protection officer for make a move and go there is somehow difficult. For make it rely on just on his salary. You where they go, therefore partially responsible for some of the things because not today a day. So sometimes in day you say, sir, they are not things say between me and the people and they go harm me. So I prefer for make it go back. But not to foresee they need to provide security for them. So I not think say it makes sense for make we decide for go put money and state protective services where we already get something where they work out well for we. And they encourage for make we upgrade the current structure we get instead of we'll start a new one. So with that, I tell the viewers to thank you. People who make comments, I tell them thank you for their time. I tell them myself thank you for the job that they do. Mr. Abdul Karim, Bishop, thank you very much. Deal with me back and forth for making we able to set up this this interview here. You did a very good job. Thank you very much. And I tell myself thank you. Like I say, which one I did very wonderful. I hope with the interface once in a while. When I feel free anytime when something come up on any kind of discussion, yeah, so we will share. Because Asab na salon Asab here. So we can share. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome, Mr. Turay. Thanks for coming, because we know say everybody in time is somewhat precious for every one of us. On a given day, we get this same moment we didn't have to talk to you could have substituted other things then for this moment. So you give up something for come spend up with we. So we will try for spread ideas and concerns and information about our country. So I always have the greatest regard. I don't have to agree with you or not necessarily you, with people, the idea, but I get the utmost respect for them when they take up time for just talk about matters of concern will go affect the people. Because at the end of the day, Sierra Leone is not a thing, it's not a place, it's the people who are Sierra Leone. Without the people, Sierra Leone, it's not Sierra Leone. Now the people, not the country. So we know say laws are not being passed in a vacuum, they affect people's lives. We in turn, they affect property and all of that. So we appreciate you taking the time, coming here, spending it with us, almost 2 hours. And then, in fact, more than 2 hours, but so I cannot thank you enough. So please come back. We may need you again. And feel free to contact us. Thank you very much.
Anytime. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Mama Salon, we like you.
Welcome to VOS Social Media Review, your weekly platform for insightful discussion, bold analysis, and the stories shaping our society. Join lawyers